On the fourth floor, I heard the elevator breathe. A wet exhale behind the flickering ceiling panel. The instructions said to expect nothing, and then to expect everything. Reddit called it a hoax. By building $15 of secondhand carpet per hallway, brass railings smudged by invisible hands, a 14 that skips 13 felt like the right place to be. Wrong. I started at 1. I pressed 4. Old citrus cleaner rose from the tiles, and something sweet underneath it, like powder shaken from a velvet pouch. My reflection on the door looked pale and unserious, the way I always do when I'm about to pretend I'm not scared. I live alone now. My mother loved old movies. When the hospital smell got into her cardigan, we watched them on mute just to see the faces. 2. 6. 2 again. 10. I told myself I'd stop if I felt anything I could name. The panel's bulb buzzed a warning that was really just electricity. The hallway outside each stop yawned beige and sane. I almost laughed at myself. 5. Before the doors parted, I heard a laugh that didn't belong to anyone on my floor or any other floor. It had the clean, clipped tempo of studio laughter from the 1950s, precise. It touched the back of my neck like breath. The doors opened. She was taller than the posters, the famous one from my mother's VHS tapes, the late 50s smile, the dress suit in a color you could call navy if you were being lazy. White gloves, a small handbag, a bouffant as immaculate as a promise. She didn't look at the floor numbers, she looked at me, and her smile tilted in a way I'd once thought charming. For a second, I forgot what game I was playing. I was 20 and stupid, and filled with the soft hunger of having loved someone distant through a screen. I almost said her name. Then I saw her in the mirror that ran along the back wall. Not the face, but the rest. The suit furred with a precise bloom of mold along the seams. The gloves grayed at the tips. The legs were wrong, greenish, not from light, not from anything but time. Her neck had a seam the cameras would have avoided, a narrow, bruise-colored smile. "Where are you going?" she asked. Her voice was lighter than I expected. It made my stomach drop. My thumb fumbled and pressed 1 even though I knew the rules. The elevator climbed. The 10th floor shouldn't have been different. It was. The doors sighed open to a hallway that had lost most of its light, as if the building were choosing where to spend it. The carpet's pattern drowned under a mist that hovered at shin height and refused to move when I stepped, so that I felt blind below my knees. Outside the narrow window at the end of the hall, it was night. Not evening, not almost, but a bowl of black. A red cross winked on the top of a building far away, like a dot at the end of a sentence. No cars, no voices. My phone said 3:07 p.m. Behind me, the elevator stayed open, bright as a stage. That same crisp laugh twined from its throat and slid into the hall. I didn't look back. I didn't want to share a box with whatever wore her face, so I took the stairs. The stairwell tasted like metal in rain, though it had been a dry week. I climbed, not caring whether I was cheating the ritual. Something moved a little faster than me, 3 steps below. When I started to run, it did too. A hand that wasn't mine slid along the rail and lifted off, testing the air the way a tongue might. On the 11th landing, my shoe caught, the world clipped to the side, and the wall rushed forward like a friend. I hit, not hard, but hard enough to white out everything. I woke in my own bed with my shoes on. There was dried grit under my left hand, a crescent of dust on the sheet where my head had been. Sun streamed across my windowsill, the way it always does when I've already missed something important. A neighbor's radio bled trumpet through the wall. In the street below, someone laughed, a normal, messy laugh. I lay very still and told myself, you can wake from a nightmare in the same place you fell asleep. You can also wake in the place that wants you to think you did. I checked my phone. 2 hours gone. A text from my friend. Where are you? I typed, overslept, on my way, and my thumb hovered over the little icon where emojis live. I didn't touch it. In the hallway, the elevator wore a crooked cardboard sign, out of service, black marker pressed too hard. The doors were parted half an inch, like a mouth that had forgotten how much it had to open to say your name. I should have taken the stairs and the bus and the crowded lecture hall, but the woman at 12B shuffled past me with her grocery tote and smiled. I had never seen her smile. She kept smiling after she turned the corner. Down on the sidewalk, the doorman, there is no doorman in my building, stood in a cat that didn't fit and smiled. A child in a stroller looked at me over a rim of crackers and smiled. Every person walking by, every stranger stepping aside, mouthed the same shape, polite at first and then strained. I reached for my phone like a talisman. A new message from my friend blinked into place. I hurried back upstairs because the world had gone smooth and I needed edges. The out-of-service sign had sagged farther down the elevator's face. From inside, I thought I heard the gentle shiver of pearls sorting themselves. I locked my door. I opened my laptop. I started to write down the rules from memory and then realized I had never read the rules about getting back if you wake up somewhere familiar, pretending to be home.